Hello and welcome back to Grey Gast Outdoors. Today we are going over what I pack for an overnight trip that's a week long, generally with Scouts BSA. Alright, so to start off the video, we are going to cover what I would walk into camp with. So what I'd walk into camp with is these two things and possibly a backpack, just to carry some personal items. But hopefully everything is carried in this tub. So what this tub is an HDX 27-gallon tub that I got at Home Depot, and I've gotten plenty of these. This is what you see on the internet with a bunch of people pack their outdoors gear in. They are not technically waterproof, but I've never really had a problem with water getting into these, and this is what I've brought on 99% of all of the overnight trips when going to like a Boy Scout summer camp. So first, let's start off with what's in this tub. So I like to organize this in a particular way, and I'll illustrate that in a second. But first off, I have some smaller items that are laying across the top. I have my Osprey 3-liter water bladder that has a hose connect that I can drink out of as I walk. I really like these, especially for camping. You can see that I packed it for my Philmont video, or for my Philmont trip, and I think they come in handy. They store a lot of water, and there's a really big problem with people getting dehydrated at these camps. So I recommend having as much water on you as you can, and these are just really easy to fill up and just suck on your way whenever you're out on your trip or out doing your merit badges. Next, I have two big towels. These are like shower towels. They're microfiber, so they dry faster, but some people don't like how they feel, so just keep that in mind. I like them. I think they dry really fast, and I've used them on basically every camping trip that I bring a towel. In the process of towels, I have a smaller towel. This is something I bring like for a swimming merit badge, and it's a small towel. It's the one I brought to Philmont, and it's not small but not necessarily big. It's microfiber as well and fits into that small carrying case. I really like it. It dries really fast, and I would use it for mostly just the merit badges that involve getting in the water. So what all of that stuff would go into for when I am walking would be this foldable day pack. I definitely suggest investing in a decent day pack for these trips. You can get away with smaller things, but I recommend at least 20 liters for a small pack. And this one folds out like this. It even has a rain cover in the bottom that can cover the backpack. And what I generally put into this is a swimsuit, or conversely a change of clothes for if I'm doing a swimming merit badge, my first aid kit, which we're going to get to in a second, some snacks, and my notebook that I can use for trips, for merit badges, and any writing component that I need to do for those. Speaking of which, here's my notebook. It's just a random off the shelf notebook. Definitely good to bring those, especially for those writing intensive merit badges like your Eagle required, citizenships, and anything like that. And then the first aid kit I also keep in my backpack whenever I'm walking around. I have a full video on this. This is my backpacking first aid kit. It covers 99.9% of everything that you need without walking to the first aid station at your Boy Scout camp. And also very important for your day pack is water, as evidenced by the 3-liter pack, but you can also bring 1 or 2 of these bottles. If you're not bringing a water bladder, definitely bring 2 of these just so you have water. But I even recommend bringing 1 even if you do have the water bladder, because that way you can fill it up with like a flavored drink if you like those. For example, liquid IV, or a lot of these camps supply some sort of bug juice or flavored water that you can put in these water bottles. So a few last optional things that can go in this pack. This is my outdoors survival essentials kit. I like to carry this around whenever I'm in any sort of outdoor situation. It just helps with, and I know that I have everything that I would really need for these outdoor adventures in this pack, and I really recommend everyone make one somewhat similar to this, so that they have that sense of security knowing that they have basically everything they would need for any outdoor adventure. This is my extra layer. So this is a fleece and some extra socks. So these are like literal extra layers. You can throw them in a day pack, but generally it's going to be really hot at these camps. But I still recommend having these somewhere. So it can get pretty cold, and it's always a good idea to have some extra layer. So rain gear is also something. So if it's going to rain, I definitely recommend bringing rain gear in your backpack. These are rain pants, like in a mesh bag, just so they can dry out if you use them. And not necessarily the use case for these camps, because you can generally get to a change of clothes relatively fast, but for people who do not like getting wet by rain, I definitely recommend these, and I just recommend buying one if you don't have the pair, because they come in handy, especially for backpacking trips. Now the raincoat is a bigger thing. Definitely always have a raincoat on your pack. I definitely bring it because it rains a lot at these places, or at least everyone that I've been to has always had at least one rainstorm, and you want to be prepared to get out of the rainstorm and stay dry if possible. All right, coming to the end of the just miscellaneous gear. Sunscreen is a very big thing. You do not want to get sunburnt, and I recommend bringing like at least a big thing of sunscreen, and then reapply as you go along your day. I like bringing a little bag of bags, so I have a mixture of mesh bags and waterproof bags in here. These are helpful. Like you could put laundry in these. It's really nice for that, and you can also just put whatever you would need to pack away in these. If you need something to stay dry, like you have electronics or something, you can wrap them in a dry bag and whatnot. Additionally, down here I have some rope, like 550 cord. Definitely good to have, especially for stringing up some clotheslines. That way you can keep everything dry. And two last things I have here are my toiletries. So I just have shampoos, body wash and conditioner, as well as toothpaste and toothbrush and deodorant in this. So most of these camps will have showers. I like to shower every day. I know that's not a popular opinion amongst scouts, but I definitely felt that it made me feel more comfortable, and I like to take advantage of it as much as possible. And lastly, a little cup for any hot chocolate or anything that your troop might be making at camp. All right, moving on to my sleep system. So, my sleep system includes these 4 things. So, at a car camping situation or these scout camps, I like to bring this big, puffy, inflatable mattress. It's really comfortable, and even if it's deflated, it still offers you some comfort, and I really, really like this brand and this pad. This is my REI sleeping bag. It's a 20-degree bag, but over the years it's lost some of its warmth. However, it's better for the summer months, so I still bring it for most of the summer type campouts. And what I did with this one is I draped it over me so that I could regulate my temperature a little bit better, rather than being zipped up inside the bag. And with being only draped over this. I have this sleeping bag liner, and this is what protected me from a lot of the mosquitoes, because that was a really bad problem at most of the camps that I've gone to, is mosquitoes. So this will help me mitigate the amount of mosquito bites that I get during the night, and then this will provide a little bit more warmth. And lastly, I have an inflatable pillow. You can bring a full-size pillow if that's more comfortable for you, but I still think that these inflatable pillows are about as comfortable as I need for these camping trips. Alright, and now we come to the clothing, and this is the most expansive part of my packing list. So first I'm going to illustrate what I'd wear down, and this is just basically what I'd recommend wearing each of these days. This is just the basic layout of the types of clothes that I wear. So I have wool socks. These are a little thick for summer. They're like winter weighted socks rather than summer weight. So if you can get lighter socks, I'd recommend that, especially for summertime. But if it's all you have, these socks will do great, and I have never really gotten overheated in them. It's just something to consider. And then we have two shirt options. This is essentially just a t-shirt, but it's a polyester blend instead of a cotton t-shirt. So I recommend trying to get something like that, just because cotton is rotten and cotton kills, as all the sayings go, and you want to just try and avoid it, especially when you're camping and you might be stuck in that clothing for a while. A different type of clothing, or shirt, sorry. Shirt is one of these like Columbia long sleeve roll up fishing or hiking outdoorsy shirts. These offer a little bit more like sun protection. They usually have an SPF value on them, and they're handy, they're breathable, they're really nice. They are relatively expensive, so I generally bring one or two on my longer trips and just wear them as like an overcoat or an overshirt on some of these, over some of these t-shirts if it starts to get cold. Some athletic underwear. This is just REI brand athletic underwear. It helps prevent chafing, but you can always just use your normal underwear, and for a majority of my trips I've always just had normal underwear. And then you can wear shorts, like I have, these are just some Kohl's cargo shorts, or you can have the like zip-off pants or some light pants. These are just some generic zip-off pants, and I just like the variety of pockets, but you also just don't want to be overheated. Before we go into my box, my shoes, I generally brought 2 pairs, if not 3. You have your hiking boots that you wear around camp most of the time, and then your Crocs for swimming, or shower shoes, or like spring Keens, or any type of water shoes, but some water shoes that can also act as your shower shoes. So now we're going to move on to the clothes that I have in my box. So keep in mind the items that I have over here, so the shirt and the pants, or the shorts, and the underwear, because that's the type of items that I have in here. But this is just how I laid them out. So, how I laid them out is I have essentially a stack of clothes that are in gallon bags per day over here. So, I have them labeled with the day, which this case is Monday. So on the first day, I have just a shirt and some underwear. That's because I'm not going to bring a pair of shorts for every day. That's my choice. You can definitely bring a new pair of shorts or pants for every single day, but I don't think that's necessarily necessary for me. So I just have underwear and a new shirt for the day, and it is in descending order. So Monday comes out first, and then I can always put my laundry for Monday in my Tuesday bag. So this is my Tuesday bag. It has a shirt, underwear, and a new pair of shorts because I want to trade them out about every other day. You might notice that I do not have any socks in these, and we'll get to that in a second. But so shirt, underwear, and pants. Additionally, sleeping clothes. In theory, the sleeping clothes should be under Monday night or even on the top, because they'll be the first things that you use. I like bringing legitimate sleeping clothes. So that would be a shirt and some sleeping pants, and that's what that is. Light sleeping pants so you don't get overheated, or you can bring athletic shorts as well. And I didn't pack pajamas for every night either, but you can definitely do that. Wednesday, I just have a shirt and underwear again because I'm still wearing the Tuesday pants. And then Thursday, I have shirt, underwear, and pants. Same thing for Friday, shirt and underwear. I have a second pair of pajamas. For about halfway through the week I change. This one has athletic shorts rather than the thin sleeping pants. And then lastly, I have basically a shirt, underwear, and pants, or comfy athletic shorts for the drive home, because that would be Saturday and that's your last day. So as I mentioned, I do not have any socks in any of these. That's because I pack a separate bag of socks just in case that I need to replace them. I packed about 8 socks in here, 1 for each day plus 2 extra, and that way that if they get wet or ruined, I can easily replace them, and I just grab them out of this bag every morning. Lastly, for clothes, I have a little hat that also has some light for as a headlamp and stuff like that. You should also bring a separate headlamp, but that works well as a backup. And the last item that I have in this box is swimsuits. Of course, if you're not swimming, you do not have to bring swimsuits, but I always like going swimming, so I have brought swimsuits. Look at your guidelines of your camp. Sometimes they have specific guidelines for the type of swimsuits that you can wear, but I just packed 2 pants and 2 swimming underwear for my swimsuits. You can also pack swimming shirts because it does get hot and you don't want to get sunburnt, but that's up to personal preference. Alright, and now we come to the final segment, and this includes all of the miscellaneous items and items that I've never brought but that I have seen a lot of people bring and want to mention them in this video. The first one is something that I don't have on the table, but it's a fishing rod. Especially if you're in a fishing merit badge, that's something that you might definitely want to consider bringing. However, a lot of these camps offer fishing options even if you're not doing the fishing specific merit badge, and if you enjoy fishing a lot, it might be something to do in your free time. Alright, moving on to the stuff on the table. First, small things. Sunglasses, headlamps. Headlamps are more of a thing that you definitely want to bring, but sunglasses and other comfort items like that are things that you want to consider bringing. Additionally, camp chairs. This one's a cheap one from Ozark Trail, which is Walmart's Outdoors brand. And you can just bring one to sit around the campfire, set up outside of your tent, play games with your friends on, and it's just a good thing to have. I've always brought one. I usually opt for the full-size chairs because we're not backpacking in, of course, but you can bring a small collapsible chair if that's all that you have, but I like this big, more comfortable chairs for when I'm out camping. And then we have a hammock. Hammocks are very popular with people who go to these camps. I never personally liked bringing them to these camps. I am a hammock camper. I've done it a lot. I've done it backpacking before even, but I didn't bring it to these camping trips. I generally opted to stay in the tents, but it's up to personal preference. Just make sure you bring the straps, and if you plan on sleeping in the hammock, bring some sort of rain cover and even a mosquito cover if you so desire. And lastly, I have always gone to Boy Scout camps that are that cook for you, but I do know that there are some that have you cook as a troop and they just provide the food. So if you're doing something like that, something like mess kits are definitely more important to bring. I would generally bring a plate and some silverware, just on the off chance that sometimes these camps have a cook your own meal day, and that's something you want to factor in your packing. So just like a small plate and some silverware. Your troop can also bring some utensils and plates when in the trailer that they bring, or in the leader's car, of course. But if you're doing your own cooking, or you want to cook like tea or coffee in the morning, you might be more inclined to bring your own cooking supplies. Thank you for watching my video on what I'd bring to a week-long Boy Scout camp. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below, along with any suggestions for later videos. Thank you again for watching.